Welcome to Lesson 5. In this lesson, you will practice numbers using counters. First, we will learn how to count people. Next, we will practice saying ages. And we will also cover some simple questions about family. We're going to start with a conversation. Don't worry if you can't make the words yet, try to pick up on the meaning from the images. We'll repeat this conversation at the end of the lesson, and you'll be surprised by how much you understand. Conversation for the lesson.
佐藤さん、家族は何人ですか？
家族は4人です。田中さんは？
私は3人です。子供が1人います。
そうですか。お子さんは何歳ですか？
娘は20歳です。佐藤さんのお子さんは？
うちは11歳と8歳の息子がいます。
Let's see how to count people. One person is 1人 and two people is 2人. When counting 3 people and over, you use the number plus 人. For example, 3 people is 3人. 4 people is 4人. And 5 people is 5人. You often use the pattern, noun, は count, 人です. So, to say, my family has 4 people. 家族は4人です. And to say, my family has 6 people. 家族は6人です. To say there is a person or an animal, you use います. For example, noun が count います. To say, I have 2 children, or there are 2 children. 子供が2人います. And to say, I have 1 son, or there is 1 son. 息子が1人います. So, let's build the sentence. My family has an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old son. うちは11歳と8歳の息子がいます. The word for my family, or my house, is うち. 11 years old is 11歳. And 8 years old is 8歳. The word for son is 息子. Putting it all together. うちは11歳と8歳の息子がいます. Once more. うちは11歳と8歳の息子がいます. To say there is a thing or that you have a thing, you use あります. For example, noun があります. To say I have a pen. ペンがあります. And to say I have a TV. テレビがあります. To ask how many people, you use the word 何人. You use the pattern, noun は何人ですか? To ask how many people are in the class. クラスは何人ですか? And to ask how many people are on the team. チームは何人ですか? To say years old, we use the number plus 歳. 1 year old is 1歳. 2 years old is 2歳. 3 years old is 3歳. To ask someone's age, you use the word 何歳. For example, noun は何歳ですか? To ask how old is your younger sister? 妹は何歳ですか? You can also use the same pattern without the question. For example, my friend is 16 years old. 友達は16歳です。Let's review the key sentences for this lesson. First, how many people are in your family? 家族は何人ですか? Next, in my family there are 5 people. 家族は5人です。Next, how old is your child? お子さんは何歳ですか? Finally, I have 2 sons. 息子が2人います。Let's review what we've learned. We learned how to ask how many people are in a family. We practiced using numbers with the counter for people, 人. And we learned how to ask and state ages using 歳. Finally, we used います to express having family members. Now let's revisit that first conversation. This time, listen closely and notice how much clearer the words have become. Conversation for the lesson.
佐藤さん、家族は何人ですか？
家族は4人です。田中さんは？
私は3人です。子供が1人います。
そうですか。お子さんは何歳ですか？
娘は20歳です。佐藤さんのお子さんは？
うちは11歳と8歳の息子がいます。
If you want to practice what you've learned in this lesson, head over to Japanichi.com. In the core lesson, you'll find this lesson's conversation. You can tap on any word to see its definition and listen to its pronunciation. Key sentences with their explanations and pronunciations. Detailed explanations of the grammatical patterns used in this lesson. The vocabulary introduced. Next, the exercises. Practice writing sentences with feedback. Record yourself speaking and get evaluations. And finally, the practice section. Apply what you've learned in the lesson by responding to questions in writing. Listen to the provided audio and provide verbal responses to the comprehension questions. Finally, have a conversation with an AI using the words and phrases you've already learned.